and publish. Nothing like finishing a good old video and finally getting to rest. There's nothing even going on today, so I think I can just rest for a little bit. Wait a minute. Monday editing, Tuesday recording. Oh no. Today's the Mario movie. Okay, I gotta go. Okay, alright, take this. Yeah, take that. Okay. Oh, and you? Oh, you're definitely coming with me. Let's go. We're going to Mario movie. We're going right now. Come on, let's go. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Come on, let's go. And here we go. Well, what a stunning turn of events. The Mario movie releases for critics a few days before we do, and the movie kinda bombs. But when the movie releases to audiences, 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. And yes, that movie deserves that 98%, because holy crap, the Super Mario Bros. Movie is probably the best video game movie that's been crafted ever to be put on screen. It is so good, and today we are going to be talking about why I literally love this movie. And please do not listen to the 50% Rotten Tomato score. Please go see this movie, and I'm going to explain why this movie is like so great. There is a section where I talk about spoilers, but don't worry, I'll leave a timestamp for that. But thank you guys so much for the support, and finally, let's talk about the Super Mario Bros. Movie. First of all, let's just get the cast out of the way. I know people have worries about the cast in general, but please, wipe those all away. I kid you not. As soon as the movie started, I didn't really hear Chris Pratt anymore. All my worries about Chris Pratt playing Mario disappeared in an instant. And Charlie Day as Luigi was perfect. Peach's voice actor, perfect. Jack Black as Bowser. Oh my god. Yes. And honestly, Toad, Keegan-Michael Key, also did an amazing job. Although, Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong does honestly just sound like Seth Rogen. But to be honest, I think that was the point. I feel like Seth Rogen is a pretty fitting voice for Donkey Kong. They even do the laugh Seth Rogen has. So honestly, it fits for him. And if that's really the only character that really just sounds like the actor. Chris Pratt actually tries. As soon as the movie starts, you hear that accent. And he actually tries throughout the movie. So, regarding the cast, just look at it with an open mind. Because trust me, you're gonna forget it's Chris Pratt after a while. It may be easy for some people, and it may be hard for some people. Personally, for me, my worries really wiped away during the first 5 minutes. Next, the story. The story of the games were implemented into the movie. Well, it's a pretty simple plot, to be honest. And honestly, I wasn't expecting this. Now, it's not really a spoiler per se, but they didn't really mention it in the trailers that much, but Bowser isn't just set on taking over the Mushroom Kingdom, he is set on actually trying to marry Peach. And they just brought it up abruptly. They never advertised it in the trailers, but they just decided to drop it now. And wow, I was not expecting that. And yeah, they actually did it. And boy, is Jack Black as Bowser in this movie a very, very hard simp. Just wow. I mean, he always was in the games, but they just fully embraced him in this movie. And honestly, he has a few musical numbers in this movie, and wow, he has a really good voice. And Jack Black really just gave it his all as Bowser, and I really love that about him. I'm literally gonna give him a whole entire separate video about his performance in this movie. It's just so great. Every single scene he absolutely stole. Now, Peach, obviously, we all know that Anna Taylor-Joy was gonna give a great performance, and she did. And we do see this new side of Peach, and some people say, okay, so what's the point of Daisy now if Peach is this upbringing, really surprisingly athletic and have that fighting style. So Peach in this movie is a lot different from her counterpart from the game, which I was expecting, and she really was the leader of the Mushroom Kingdom, and we do get some insights that I will explain later in the video which I was not expecting. Peach was a great addition to the movie. DK, on the other hand, we really did get to explore a lot of DK's world in the movie, and I was really loving that. We even got to see some very fan-favorite characters in the kingdom, which we'll also get to later in the video. DK's performance by Seth Rogen was really just Seth Rogen, but that was the point, and I really don't have any problems with that. That's really the only minor nitpick I really have with the voice actors of the show. I mean, not of the show, from the movie. That's really my only minor nitpick. And Keegan-Michael Key as Toad is a perfect Toad. It's really crazy that I just associate this character with this actor. It's just crazy, but he does an amazing Toad. If I was to imagine what Toad would sound like, it's that voice, and he does an amazing job with it. So, not just that, we also have some of the minor characters. We have Spike. We didn't really get to see him for that much, and he plays the role as Mario's boss before they go independent. And yeah, he really does talk down to Mario and Luigi. So he sets his point, and we don't really have a voice for him in the game, so honestly, he was a fine addition to the movie. So, that was pretty fine. And Charlie Day as Luigi, perfect casting. Perfect. As soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, Nintendo's cooking up something here. And they did. Charlie Day definitely did an amazing job as Luigi, and I definitely see why Charlie Day wants to do a Luigi's Mansion movie. I think he can hold his own. And there were some minor nitpicks people had about the movie, simply because we didn't get enough Mario and Luigi in the movie. Which, regarding the movie's plot, it was bound to happen. In the beginning of the movie, they did try their best to flesh out Mario and Luigi for a good 15 minutes, and they did a pretty good job. And the movie actually spends a lot of time in Brooklyn. I really wasn't expecting that. But we really just start off in Brooklyn, and it's just, we see all these characters were not expecting to show up. It was just really crazy, and yes, we do get to spend that time with them, and yes, they do eventually get split up, so that's why we don't get that Mario and Luigi screen time. So really, people saying that, oh, this is why I don't like this, you gotta realize, come on, this is the plot of the movie. And Charlie Day did an amazing job. Regarding DK and his future, I think they could do a Donkey Kong movie. There is room to grow. There is a lot of characters in the Donkey Kong universe for them to pull from, which they did, and wow, that was just great. And there were some really surprise actors that showed up in the movie, which I won't get into, because watch the movie for yourself. And honestly, I remember when the runtime first came out for the movie, and people were like, are you serious? It's gonna be so short. Why couldn't it be 2 hours like the Sonic movie? And to that, I say no. The movie uses its runtime very well, actually. It doesn't feel rushed, and it feels like it takes its time, especially when we were in Brooklyn. I was like, oh wow, we're taking a really long time to flesh out this world before Mario and Luigi set off in the Mushroom Kingdom. And I like that. They're taking their time to build up this world, and we definitely see that. And it takes its time in the Mushroom Kingdom too. even with a 1 hour and 30-minute runtime, they could flesh out the Mushroom Kingdom. And they were sprinkling little things here and there. And speaking of the things they were sprinkling here and there, oh my god, the soundtrack. I think this movie has the best video game adaptation soundtrack out of all of them. Out of every single video game adaptation, Mario movie steals the cake. Yes, I'll be honest, there was some times in the movies where they were using songs that were already popular and not necessarily from the Mario franchise. Yes, but majority of the soundtrack was composed from the Mario games, and I will find out who his name is and put him in the description of the video. But whoever composed the Mario movie music did a phenomenal job pulling music from so many games. As soon as Bowser's ship showed up, they played his theme! And as soon as I saw that on screen, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. When Peach's Castle came on screen, they played the castle theme. It was like all this nostalgia from playing all these old Mario games were coming back to fruition. And it was just like, yes, I need more of this. And the scenery of the Mushroom Kingdom was just eye candy. It was just stunning to look at. Please see this in IMAX. I wanted to see this in IMAX to get the full experience of seeing this world. And thank God I did, because it looks absolutely beautiful. And Nintendo does kind of sprinkle in all these references. There are so many references in this movie. Some, they be slow for others, but I was just like, oh my god, there, that's from the games, oh my god. And they were just, this was a love letter to the Mario franchise, and it really was what this movie was. And finally, I think I've gotten my non-spoilery review out. I mean, there is a few hints of stuff, but honestly, that's not really a big spoiler for the movie. Now, let's get into spoilers, per se, for the movie. First of all, we have kind of the driving plot. We actually get to see Mario's parents. I didn't actually think we were gonna see this, and I don't think they ever showed it in the game either. When we were in Brooklyn, we met Spike, obviously. We even, in the beginning, Charles Martinet obviously had his cameo, and they even mentioned how his Italian accent, he didn't like it, but then Charles Martinet's character came up and said, hey, it's great, yahoo! So it was just like, yes, already starting off like this. And we actually meet Mario's parents. And Mario's father, per se, doesn't actually like that he's in the plumbing game and tells him to just drop it altogether. And I was like, wow. And I'm just trying to remember, was this in the games? What am I missing? And I'm gonna try and figure out if we ever did see Mario's parents in the game. And Luigi's, obviously. But yeah, their parents aren't really supportive of their plumbing job that they have. And wow, I was really surprised by that. 2, spoilers, at the end of the movie, I really didn't think that this was going to happen, and I don't think this has also happened in the Mario franchise. Towards the end of the movie, when Mario finally kinda takes down Bowser, but it doesn't actually work out. What happens is that Bowser's Kingdom does a swap and literally goes into our world, basically, New York City. This was when I was like, wait a minute, okay, we're going into territory that has not happened in the games, at least from what I remember. This never happened, and boy was it a showdown. I love this scene from here to back. I was just like, I gotta see this movie again, just for all these scenes we keep seeing of all these characters. And going back to some characters that showed up that I was not expecting to show up. First of all, Diddy Kong showed up in the movie. Yes, we saw them in the background, but nope. He had a voice. I'm not sure who he was voiced by, but yes, he showed up in the movie. Great. Love that. We also had the likes of some Toads that are prominent in the Toad Treasure Tracker game, who got voices. Was not expecting that either. We got some hints and references to Super Mario Galaxy, and no, sorry guys, Rosalina did not show up in the movie. We had one Luma, which was pretty crazy and was kind of really funny. He was really neck and neck with Jack Bowser. I mean, Jack Black for the comedic moments in the movie, I will be honest with you. And no, we don't see with Luma reunite with Rosalina, although she is out there somewhere. She does kind of hint to it at the end of the movie, but the real two post-credit scenes were... One was kind of just there, it was kind of a quick gag at Bowser being captured and everything now, but the second post-credit scene, oh boy. I was expecting him to show up somewhere in the movie, but my gut feeling when I heard Chris Pratt say there was two post-credit scenes, I was like, okay, it's gotta be this character. And yes, it was the dinosaur himself, Yoshi. We just pan to the underground sewers and we just see this green egg. We already know what the green egg is, and we hear Yoshi. And my crowd was electric all throughout this movie, especially when Mario and Luigi, towards the end of the movie, finally got that Power Star power-up, and boy, when that song kicked in from the power-up, my theater was electric, and all the music from the game, almost every possible sound from at least the first 5 or 6 Mario games are in this movie, and it's just perfection, and I really cannot believe that this movie's a reality now. It's a huge step up from the 1993 movie. And the fact some critics had the audacity to say stuff online like, oh, this is the worst animated movie I've ever seen in my life. Some people said, I'd rather watch the 1993 movie than watch this. I don't know what people were going on with when they watched that movie that night. I don't know if all the critics were just in a bad mood, where their paycheck's not that great that day, or they just wanted to tear this movie to shreds. Look, if you have not played the games, that's really not that bad for you. The movie kinda opens itself up to you. It's not like you need to know everything about Mario. I mean, I think everyone kinda knows the general plot of Mario, and if you know that, then you're pretty much fine. You can't tell me you're going into this movie and you've never heard of Mario in your life. Stop lying. You've seen his face at least somewhere, or heard his music, or you've heard of Mario. You've heard of Mario, so you can't really say, oh, I don't know what's going on here. You do. Come on. And regarding the other things that I would like to talk about, just the animation, on the other hand. I remember a lot of people were saying, why would Nintendo go to Illumination? This is a horrible decision, and I was very wrong. Illumination did a phenomenal job on this movie, to be exact. The scenery in this movie looks amazing. Some of it looks straight out of the game, but a jabillion times better. It's just so beautiful. Some of these I could just hang up on my wall and stare out for hours. That's how good the scenery and how all these levels were put together, and it's just so beautiful what Illumination did with this movie. I see why they went here. It's so bright and colorful. The whole movie was just eye candy, which is why I saw it in IMAX. It was just perfect. It was such an amazing experience, and it's really crazy that we got a Super Mario Bros. Movie that did not suck, and is definitely going to spark a franchise, because apparently this incoming weekend has almost $235 million coming in worldwide. So you already know for a fact, it is going to sweep Sonic the Hedgehog 2, it is going to sweep Detective Pikachu 2, and it is going to sweep Warcraft. It's going to become the highest grossing video game movie of all time. It's just going to happen. Illumination's movies have yet to bomb, ever, from what I know of. So the Mario movie is not going to be a bomb. Critics may not like it, but audiences love the hell out of this movie. And the time I'm posting this, the weekend is coming up. Please go check out this movie. Even if you're hesitant about it, please, when I tell you that voice actors really did pull up their sleeves and give their A game, they really did. And there is so much more for me to talk about the Mario movie, and I will be splitting this up into more videos regarding specific topics, but this is my general review. I love the hell out of this movie. I am definitely seeing it again and again and again, because this movie is just really, really amazing, and it's really making all these other gaming studios crawl out of their shell and say, you know what, hey, we can make a movie about our video game. I mean, a few days ago, a Street Fighter movie was just announced. Today, the day of the Mario movie, a little off topic, but we just got a release date for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which is later this year, October 27th. That was unexpected. I didn't expect to open up Twitter after the Mario movie and see that. Not only that, the Minecraft movie finally got revived from the dead and is coming out in the same week of April in 2025. I don't know why every video game studio decides to put their movie in that week. Maybe they just saw how successful the Mario movie was and Sonic 2 were in this week, and he said, you know what, this is the video game movie week, we'll just place our movies here. Which is fair enough. Which, it's gonna be live action, so a little worrisome. It should be animated, please Warner Brothers. I think almost every video game has been on a hot streak regarding their adaptations. Please, Minecraft, don't be the downfall of it. But I cannot believe we're here. Video game movies and adaptations and TV shows and everything like that are back. In every form, you just gotta do it right. Have the right people behind it. And let me just remind you, the directors of this movie are the same people that did Teen Titans Go. Let that sink in for a second. Teen Titans Go to the movies, the movie that released all the way back in 2018, was a pretty good movie. People actually really liked that movie. And the fact that Nintendo went to them to direct this movie is crazy. And they really did a really good job on this movie. This has got to be their biggest movie yet. Fun fact, the voice of the Penguin is actually the same voice as Cyborg from the show, and I noticed that one of the Toads was also the same voice as Robin. So it's a little fun, the directors pulling voice actors from the show, because I feel like when you think of these two directors, that's the first show you go to. But now, definitely, you're gonna go to this movie when you think about him. And it's insane, man. I am still in so much awe after seeing this movie. There's so much more I gotta talk about, but this is the best video game movie. This is the perfect baked cake that Nintendo has been promising ever since this movie first got announced. The cast, people laughing at it, seeing the first trailer and actually getting people hyped. This hype train has been riding, and it is still going, because I know there are sequels in the works. Nintendo is going to expand and expand. This is not the end. People love this movie. The box office is going to be destroyed by this movie. And yeah, there is a lot more I want to get into, but like I said, I'm going to really split that up into other videos. And wow, the Super Mario Bros. Movie was really just one of the biggest surprises I had this year. And yes, 10 out of 10, go see it this weekend. I really did love this movie. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I did kind of try and push this as more of a longer video, and my new upcoming videos will probably be a little longer. Also, thank you guys so much for the new avatar look that I was able to get from one of my good old friends, Farmer Sky. You could go check him out on Twitter. And thank you guys so much for, supporting me, and for me to be getting this amazing thumbnail for the artist I will also link in Twitter. And actually, hold on, come to think of it, I remember saying I was gonna do a face reveal in this video. Was I? A face reveal? What? No, of course not. Of course there's no face reveal in this video. What are you talking about? Probably not. Maybe I'm just overthinking things. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope to catch you guys in the next video. And please, go check out the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It really is amazing.